Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well and studies are going in full swing. Now in today's video we want to discuss the different features as well as the differences between the three batches that we have both for FR as well as AFM. First being the regular batch, second being the fast track or also called as the exam oriented full coverage batch, and third being the refresher or also the important questions and all concepts batch. So we want to discuss the differences between the three and maybe guide you in terms of what may be suitable for you based on the time that you have and the CA final attempt that you are having in case you are contemplating between these batches. So first of all, if we start with FR, both for FR and AFM, as we record this video in September 24, we have 2024 recordings. If you're listening to this in 2025, you will have the 2025 recordings and so on. So the features would broadly remain the same. So when we are looking at the regular batch for FR, it will take 350 hours. This is a batch which is suitable if your attempt is close to a year and a half away. So for example, if your attempt is May 26 onwards and you like a slow paced preparation, so in this batch we will be discussing all the concepts in depth, repeating it and revising it multiple times, also giving you time to think. You will do it, solve it on your books, pen and paper generally. So over here, this is suitable if you have just given your CA Inter exams and you're starting this with the first or the second subject, and probably you like that regular methodological preparation, in which case regular batch is good for you. But yes, it will take more time, but once you're done with that batch, it will give you a fairly good grip over the subject because most of the things you would have even solved on your own as well. So that is regarding the regular batch. When we go to the exam oriented or fast track batch, this is suitable in case your attempt is less than a year or year and a half away. So for example, if I am in September 24 and my attempt is May 25 or maybe even November 25, so for me time is essence. I want coverage, but I want it in the best possible time. So over your exam oriented or fast track batch would be good. Remember it is not like a crash course or a concise batch where we have cut out concepts or we have cut out sums. No, in this batch the exact same books that are there in regular are in fast track. The exact sums that are done in regular are also done in fast track. So in terms of the coverage, it is exactly the same. As you can see over here, 850 plus questions, that is the same as regular. The books also same as regular, but the hours are lower, maybe around 200 or 210 hours is for your FR exam oriented or fast track batch. Largely we kind of optimize on the hours over here where we explain the concepts, all of them, but in a lot more exam oriented and an application for your exam perspective. Further, when we do the sums, we will be doing each and every sum. So it is not a discussion of sum per se, it is a solving of sums. However, like in a regular batch, if you have done a CA Inter class as well, the professor reads the question, then you are given a time to read the question and then solve it, try it on your own. Well, we try to optimize that for your fast track where we discuss the question in detail, again solve it in detail. However, necessarily I will not guide you on one-to-one that this is how you have to solve on pen and paper. If you are the type of a person who wants to do that, you can always pause the video in a recorded class and you can even do that in questions where you think you want to try on your own, and in a lot of cases where I think it is suitable that you should try, I will always mention that you can pause the video and try it on your own and then resume. So in that ways we try to balance between the time as well as the coverage. So the coverage over here is also exhaustive. The books are exactly the same. As you can see the books over here, there will be 1 plus 3, that is 4 books. One is your colorful concept book, we call it as FR Shield, and there will be 3 question banks where you have the questions along with the solutions, and along with important questions we have also given a QR code where you have audio notes or audio pod. So you can refer that at the time of revision where you can quickly refer if you are stuck at a particular area. So this is regarding regular and fast track, exact same books, all questions, all concepts covered in both of them. Then there is a refresher batch. Now refresher batch will generally be suitable if, let us say, my attempt is very close. Like for example, if I'm in the November 24 attempt, it is probably a month and a half, and I want to kind of be assured of the important questions, and this is based on the important questions list that we have even shared on Telegram, all the important questions that are there, each and every one of them. And by important, I don't say that if there are 450 questions, we are only going to do 99 or 100 questions. No, we are going to do in detail 420 plus important questions, and generally more than 70% of the paper is from the important section generally. Okay. For the other questions, we will share a soft copy with you. If you have the time and the inclination and requirement, you can just go through the other questions so that you can psychologically have a full coverage. Having said that, if you are running short on time and you don't refer the other questions as well, from a time and balancing perspective, you can take a safe bet going with this batch, where we discuss all concepts and not just concepts for the important questions. We discuss all the concepts and solve the important questions. So over here you will have one concept book, which is the same colorful book, and there will be two volumes where all the important questions are there. The third volume will be there in soft copy format, and that is an optional version that you can revise if you have time. If you don't have time, I can safely tell you that you can keep that to rest and you can focus on these important questions with overall conceptual understanding, and you can go with this. So refresher batch is generally suitable if you have touched upon FR earlier, maybe from us, maybe from somewhere else, and your concepts are a little maybe shaky, or maybe you've forgotten a lot of things. You want help on that. So refresher would really do the job for you in case that is your situation. If you're a first timer who has just cleared CA Inter and your CA final attempt is a few more than a year and a half away, regular may be helpful for you. And if you are now in the last 1 or 1.5 years and you have almost all subjects remaining, then the exam oriented fast track batch would be suitable. Even if you're a first timer, you can easily manage with the fast track or exam oriented batch. It is not a selective batch. Like a refresher, we would do slightly faster and we would focus on the important questions. In exam oriented batch, we will focus on all the questions, and as a result you can safely take that even if you're a first timer, if you have less time. And if you're a first timer with more time, then probably go with the regular. The choice is with you. Okay, as you have said, full concepts as well as question solving is covered in each of those batches, and that is regarding your financial reporting. Again, we will also share demo lectures for the same there are already there on YouTube, but I'll probably put it in the description of this video, so you can make your decision by looking at the lectures as well, so that you understand what is the best for you. For example, just a second. Okay, next, let us say you go to AFM. Now again, for AFM is relatively a shorter subject when you compare it with financial reporting. So if you're starting for the first time, you can either start with FR or you can either start with AFM. It does not really matter the sequence of starting. It is but it is preferable that you start with the practical paper, either be FR or either be AFM. Okay, so generally over here, when you look at the regular batch for AFM, it will include 220 hours. This includes everything. Again, the features remain the same. When you look at the regular batch, it will be a relatively slow paced batch where you will be methodologically one by one. You will get time to read the question, solve it on your own probably, and we will kind of take it in a slightly slower speed. Coverage over here will have more than 500 questions, and you will have 1+2 over here, that is one colorful shield along with the AFM theory compiler, and 2 question banks over here for the practical section. So that will be 3 books. Again, for MCQs, in either case we have the soft copy of the MCQ material that we have shared. You will also have that on your Google Drive if you want to practice MCQs over and above the MCQs that are there in the ICI BOS, and if you want a separate MCQ practice, that is there for either of these batches that you take, whether it is FR, AFM, regular, fast track, refresher, wherever. So that will be in soft copy format. So for the MCQs, so over here when you look at your AFM, that is 220 hours, 500 plus questions. The principle still remains the same. I would say you will have suitability for this is if your attempt is a year and a half away, that is May 26 onwards, and you prefer a slow paced regular methodological preparation. If you are running out of time, fast track or exam oriented batch as you call it, this is again a full coverage batch, exactly the same material, exactly the same sums of regular is covered over here, suitability being May 25 or November 25. And for the refresher batch, this we have covered in around 70 hours. The fast track batch gets covered in around 130 hours. Refresher batch is 70 hours. Again, we have discussed all concepts over here. but what we have done in terms of solving is the important questions. So all the important questions which are there in the important questions file, I'm not sure whether you have seen this or not, but probably on your Telegram you will have a file like this for FR which has all the important questions. All of them are there in the refresher, maybe a few more as well. And for AFM, all of these questions, we have shared this on Telegram, which are there in the refresher batch along with a few more questions as well. So over here, these questions are covered in the refresher batch. Even over here, we will have one colored concept book and one question bank. A soft copy is there for the additional, same process as FR. Ideal suitability is for November 24 if you're listening to this probably in September, but maybe if you're listening to this at a later point and your May 25 exams are nearby, then probably you can even take it for May 25. But over here it is helpful if you have done some bit of AFM, even on your self-study or maybe YouTube. If you have done some AFM, maybe absorbing the batch will be a little more easier in terms of refresher. Exam oriented, even if you are a first timer, regular, obviously you are a first timer, this can definitely work. If you want to take the combo, there would be a 15% discount in general over the FR and AFM combo price. We have mentioned the hours. So if you are in November 24 and you have very less time, in less than 200 hours, you can complete both FR and AFM with all the important questions and almost certainty where you get reasonably good marks. Maybe in an average paper, you can easily cross exemption as well. In your exam oriented, that is full coverage, it will take around 330 hours combined, FR and AFM, and regular will take around 550 plus hours. So this is pertaining to the batches. If you need any further details, please feel free to connect with our team. They will guide you. You can watch the demo lectures, and in case you want to buy the lectures, you can buy it at benchmarksacademy.com, or you can call the team and they will guide you for the same. So that is about it. I hope I've managed to answer most of your questions that you might have in terms of the differences between these batches. If you have any other queries, please feel free to reach out to the team or connect with us and we'll be happy to guide. Okay, thank you very much for your time and patience. I'll see you soon with more revision videos and more content. Every revision video we will also have on YouTube, so you can have a YouTube playlist. We'll also share that on your Google Drive separately, but YouTube playlist is there and YouTube is much more easier to access revision. So I hope we have a good learning experience together, and goodbye and take care. See you soon. Bye bye.